cool to hear you say that, because I actually, with my mortgage process, went through something very similar where, I'm coming up on 10 years of doing this, and probably year 3 or 4 in, I pretty quickly had this like aha moment where it's like, all right, there's a lot of different places people can go to get a home loan, right? So I had to identify and figure out like, okay, if I really want to be the person somebody calls, what do I do to be different?
Yeah.
And that's where I looked at, it's like, okay, well, what am I doing when I wake up every day and go to the office? What are the things that I'm doing that really is a selling point and things that I have control over?
Right.
And so I looked internally and like, all right, what are some unique things that I can implement into my process to make it different? And it aligns perfectly with what you're saying. And you guys build is like, what are some things that we can control when somebody calls us that, really make us stand out,
The crazy part is a lot of times those are like the easy, low-hanging fruit things as well.
It's funny you say that, because like any business really, it's like you always hear like, what's the one thing that makes them stand out? It's like, oh, they communicated really well, or why was your experience poor? Because they didn't communicate, right? And it seems like, from my perspective, it is such a bare minimum, but it is it's the difference maker for a lot of people, That's what I try to do, is like, I can't prevent one-offs from happening in the mortgage experience, whether it's somebody, taking out a debt they shouldn't have, or quitting a job, or whatever it is. There's situations and things that happen that are out of our control, and same thing on your front. And frankly, even things that are in our control, we're human beings, and there are mistakes that are bound to happen, and the thing that I've chosen to admit is like, I am going to be taking ownership in that. And the point that I like that you made is that you're not going to point fingers. You're not going to blame somebody else, even if it was somebody else's fault. I always try to look at things internally, right? And it's like, what could I have done differently in this situation to prevent this from happening?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like the start of my point is like, if there is a problem, identify if there's a solution before making people aware of the problem, but then being transparent about what you're navigating.